Welcome to Sleeping Dogs. Meet myself, Wei Shen, an undercover cop sent on a mission to infiltrate and take down a triad organization in Hong Kong. Our journey begins in Victoria Harbour with me being arrested after a drug deal goes wrong. Thrown into jail, I encounter my childhood friend Jackie, who offers me a place in his triad gang after we're released. Of course, being the two-faced snake that I am, I immediately informed my police superiors that I now had ties with the Sun On Yee triad organization, and then I was off to meet the Water Street gang, a faction of the Sun On Yee. We have Winston, who's the group leader, and Conroy, who doesn't take a liking to me, though I suspect it's because he's secretly gay and doesn't want me taking up Winston's attention. We head out back, testing my capabilities against multiple guys, which was obviously Winston's idea, as the concept of men touching each other up definitely gets him going. There's then this guy called Dog Eyes, another Sun On Yee member, who pulls up on us, though he's considered a rival, as lately he's been getting greedy, trying to take over Winston's territory. Obviously, we can't let this slide, so me and Jackie are sent into the market to regain control, taking great pleasure in extorting business owners and using brute force wherever necessary. Some of you might have noticed that my fighting style bears resemblance to that of the Arkham Batman, with countering being a key part of our arsenal. He's a huge inspiration for me, which is why our combat is similar, and I always try to follow in his footsteps. Though we don't quite talk about his no killing rule, as well, sometimes things can get a little out of hand. After successfully regaining control over the marketplace, Winston sends me out again on my first real mission, which is to teach a former ally of the gang a lesson, as he's now all buddy-buddy with Dog Eyes. I managed to locate him and chased him down, eventually engaging in the least brutal UK fight, as this guy pulls a knife out of me and repeatedly chefs me up. However, embarrassingly for him, I easily took him down, despite bringing fists to a knife fight. Though sadly my victory came at the expense of my freedom, as I'm caught in the act and arrested. But luckily, I'm immediately released because, obviously, I am the police. The next day, I woke up in this awful apartment that was dirty, had a bed that was on life support, and didn't even have a shower. Clearly, hygiene is this room's biggest op. Disgraced with the state of my room, I quickly left, wanting to have some words with their manager, but I was unable to do so and instead settled on taking out my anger on the first person I saw, which thankfully put me in a better mood, allowing me to continue on with my day. With me and Jackie being low-level crooks, I was simply not satisfied, so I set my eyes on reaching level 100 Mafia boss status, taking initiative with my boy to hit a big score and impress Winston. We're interrupting one of Dog Eye's shipments of luxury goods. I go out there and start throwing hands with these guys, whilst this lazy bum Jackie sits in the van doing absolutely nothing, whilst I'm putting my life on the line. Eventually, we got a hold of the cargo. However, the luxury goods turned out to be a bunch of fake watches, making them basically worthless. Though I'm sure fakes like these would sell well in Turkey. Now that I had some successfully completed missions under my belt, I felt like I was on top of the world. And this feeling of joy was only enhanced further when I came across this lost white American woman outside my apartment, giving me the opportunity to test out my riz.
It's supposed to be a kung fu school, but I'm totally lost. I have no sense of direction.
Yeah, I think I know where it is. I mean, it's not too far. I can give you a ride. Well, the trick to Hong Kong is learning to live by ancient Chinese wisdom.
We eventually arrive at this dojo and meet the sensei, who turns out to be my former teacher. So we jumped on the mat for old time's sake, giving me the rare chance to fulfill my undying desire of brutally beating up teenagers without suffering consequences like losing my badge and getting arrested. As you can see in the background, Amanda is busy doing 10 sets of tomfoolery, which was rather embarrassing to witness, so I quickly put an end to our session. A job well done, lads, as I'd successfully received her number, but honestly, that terrible display in the dojo definitely put me off from calling her back. If you aren't immediately outmaneuvering and putting the sensei on his ass in your first session, then in my eyes, you're not fit to train in the dojo. Unfortunately, it seems that Winston is still having issues with Dog Eyes taking his territory. So to get our revenge, we head out to take over the nearby local nightclub. However, I'm quickly distracted from my main objective, as this woman Tiffany catches my attention, and before you know it, I'm knees deep in a karaoke session, delivering a phenomenal rendition of I Fought the Law. Suddenly, singing my heart out had become a priority, and my original mission of taking over the club was a mere afterthought. Eventually I did come to my senses and began to beat up some of Dog Eyes' men, which unfortunately came at the expense of a poor fish's life. However, its death was not in vain, as I took its corpse, slapped these thugs around, and eventually got my hands on the club manager, ensuring Winston's victory over the place. All this triad work almost made me forget my true role as a cop. I'd become so immersed in the gangster life and neglected my true job, so it was only right that I carried out some police duties, such as abusing my power alongside my fellow cop buddies, and carrying out bigger operations such as taking down a ketamine racket. I'm tasked with staking out this drug deal, putting on this world-class acting performance that would make greats like Leonardo DiCaprio proud, and this was in order to get past this thug and capture evidence of a drug deal turned into a murder. Anyway, after that, I called it a day with the police session and headed back to base to talk with Winston. However, upon entering, I immediately sensed a hostile atmosphere, and suddenly I was accused of being a cop. Seriously, what a ridiculous suggestion. I don't look like a police officer in the slightest, so how dare they even imply that I'm a rat? It's so obvious that I'm nothing more than a fellow gang member loyal to my homies. I could never be a cop. It looked to be the end of my life, however, thanks to my quick mouth and masterful manipulation skills, I turned the suspicion on gang member Ming, and well, yeah, that's what happens to rats, mate. Whew, thank God I maxed out my charisma, man. After suddenly being accused of being a cop, it really made me question myself and whether my acting was truly convincing. So, in an effort to maintain my cover, I decided to indulge in some criminal activities, such as police brutality against innocent civilians, a favourite pastime of mine, participating in an underground fighting competition, vandalizing cars, grand theft auto, feeding my crippling gambling addiction by betting on some big fat juicy cocks, and lastly, the cherry on top, casual mass genocide. Hey, don't judge me over their deaths, alright? When it comes to acting, I take my roles very seriously. Anyways, my fellow police friends want me to go back to my undercover cop shenanigans, tasking me with planting a bug in Winston's mother's restaurant. I'd recently taken a liking to Winston's mum's voluptuous assets, so if setting up this bug meant I could perv on that absolute beauty of a woman through my camera in my apartment all day while she struts her stuff in that sexy apron and hairnet, then hell yeah, I was totally down to plant this bug. The next thing the police wanted me to do was infiltrate an underground racing circuit, as there's rumoured to be intentional murders taking place within it. So I pulled up with my totally pristine whip, eager to begin racing. I made a minor mistake in the takeoff to the race, accidentally clattering this flare girl, though I could easily argue she was partly to blame, as she got in the way of my efforts to take an early lead. Come on girl, stay out the way. For the sake of the poor, injured or even possibly dead woman, I made sure to eventually take the lead and of course come out on top. Now having successfully broke into the street racing scene, I would soon be able to continue my investigation. After a long day of work, I intended to go home and get some rest, until I got a message from Tiffany asking for help. Yes! I've won! I was finally going to get some action, man. I hurried along straight to the club, ready to get freaky, only to find out that, unfortunately, this wasn't a booty call, but instead a plead for help with getting rid of a gun she was forced to keep a hold of. We retrieved the gun from her and took it to my lead police superior Pendrew, and it turns out this exact gun is connected with a recent shooting. And guess what guys, my supervisor is such an exceptional detective that he's able to reconstruct a hologram render of the crime scene, giving me the chance to practice my shooting skills. After that, we speak with Winston, who informed us that Dog Eyes shot up his mother's restaurant, and of course we simply cannot let an attack on my queen slide. So me and the boys ride out with the goal of burning his drug house down. Thanks to my newfound marksman abilities, I'm able to channel my inner Max Payne, vaulting around the place in slow motion and shooting up the ops. Eventually we find the leader of the drug operation, and me, being the highly sophisticated guy that I am, realized that it was better to take this guy alive and enslave him instead of just killing him. Thanks to my intelligent decision making, I gained further trust from Winston, who then takes us to meet the chairman of the Sun On Yi as his right hand man, and due to my quality service paired with my undying loyalty to the team, the chairman decides I'm worthy of moving up the ranks.
That tastes like promotion!
To be promoted in the conventional way was a welcome surprise, as I initially came into this meeting willing to do anything for that promotion. Yes, I mean anything. Absolutely anything. Anything. With this promotion came an upgrade to my quality of life, as I was now in a new apartment. Wow, a clean bathroom, a proper bed, new kitchen, and my goodness, a shower. I could finally have a wash after weeks of stinking the place out. We were truly living lavishly and at the pinnacle of luxury. If you ignore the fact that these things are all the bare minimum requirements for any livable household. I mean, the fact I was this excited over minor things like that was a testament to just how horrible and lackluster my former place was. So I was glad to be free from the shackles of the trenches, bro. Things only got better after hearing that my boy Winston was having a wedding, and his mother tasked me with helping out his fiancée, Peggy, as she had some errands to complete before the wedding. I would have much rather remained in the kitchen with this absolute sexy beast all day. However, duty called, so I reluctantly put my fantasies aside and got on with the task. One of Peggy's errands was having me awaken my true essence in life, playing dress up as a monk, in order to steal a rare flower from the temple. Although I was stopped along the way, my quick mouth spoke inspiring words of wisdom to the monks, which truly resonated with them.
What are you doing here?
When energy flows among flowers, we are all everywhere. I am here and not here. I love flowers.
Ah, brother. So true, so true.
Allowing me to easily deceive them and eventually retrieve the flower. I truly become one with the monks. However, apparently my masterclass in acting just wasn't enough, as these guys soon saw through my facade, so I quickly made my way out. However, escaping was no easy task, as these people were surprisingly capable in a fight, even giving an absolute machine like myself a run for my money. We also went to pick up the wedding cake, but of course, Dog Eyes somehow involved himself, and we chased after the cake van to get it back in one piece. Bro seriously wanted to be a part of the wedding law so badly. You could steal anything else as a criminal, yet you choose to try and rob a measly cake. This truly is a new low for Dog Eyes. With the errands complete, I took Peggy back to the restaurant. She thanked me for my services and I was off on my merry way, excited for the upcoming wedding day, which I'm sure would go so smoothly, with no issues at all. And that's that, folks. Our journey has come to an end, for now at least. But if you enjoyed this video and would like a part 2, please consider leaving a like, a comment and subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. And to all my new and current subscribers, I thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to continuing providing entertainment for you guys. See you in the next one.
I'm